No, this is not the beginning to a new Wolfpack video, as much as I want it to be. But instead, this is a review of the Rhodes Anthology VST, which just recently released.
You are watching Sound Learn.
If you're like me, you've always loved the Rhodes sound, and you've probably tried a bunch of plugins. So what makes this VST great? I mean, the price is good, but let's remove price for a second and let's consider the actual VST itself. If you're looking for a VST that emulates the Rhodes sound accurately and just gives you the classics without convoluting it with way too many presets and a bunch of crazy things that you can add to it, this is the plugin. You've got the Mark 1, the Mark 5, the Mark 7, and the Rhodes Sparkletop as your options. And within those options, you have a couple different sort of like presets here without getting too crazy. It's all stuff that you would generally kind of be able to do within the context of a real physical Rhodes and the settings that you have physically on there in combination with what you might be able to do with an app, which speaking of is what's really cool about this. Let's just go with the Rhodes Mark 1 default. When you go into the default, you have your very standard sort of Rhodes sound. Something that's really cool is that when I hit the pedal here, you kind of hear all that dissonant sort of stuff from the tines being raised for sustain. If you've ever played a real Rhodes, you know that that does happen when you kind of stamp down on the pedal. So it's cool that they captured that. A huge part of what makes the Rhodes sound is that generally you run it through an amp. And you have that option here, either through the direct suitcase sound, which is when the actual speakers were integrated. And you also have the option to run it off of the Duo here, which is kind of a play on of the Fender Twin. So there you see that it changes the sound. Let's go with none again. That's gives you a lot more low end, but again, that's part of the sound that you expect to hear when you play a Rhodes. And the cool thing here is that we can change between a cardioid and dynamic mic. It looks like for the cardioid, they're using kind of like what looks like a TLM 103, and the dynamic is a good old 57. They don't get too crazy with being able to change the axis and all that stuff. So again, they try to keep it very simple, but you have options in terms of what sound you want to get out of it. And then from there, you have all your different kind of effects that you can put on here. You can put some delays. And when you're running it through the amp, I like that you kind of get that sort of saturation that happens when you're running it through the amp. Whereas if you run it through none, it doesn't happen as much. Full disclosure, I'm not what a real musician would call a keyboard player. I just kind of play, so bear with me. Okay, so that's a little bit of playing from somebody that kind of sort of plays, but not really, so you can get an idea of what that sounds like. But I also have some stuff that's here in MIDI so that we can kind of get the exact same performance and hear the difference between the different ones. So let's start with the Rhodes Mark I default. And let's go to the Mark V. The Mark 7. And finally, the Rhodes Sparkletop. Here's another option with a little bit more range, so you can hear how all the keys sound. So all in all, for 150 bucks or 100 bucks if you're getting this on sale, to me, it's a no-brainer. I've heard and played a lot of different suitcase keyboards, sort of VSTs and emulators and stuff like that. And a lot of them are pretty good, and you can definitely find some more high-end stuff that you can really get nitty-gritty with all this stuff. But for a lightweight plugin that you can just throw on and play and get the sounds that you want to get from a classic Rhodes, you can't beat the fact that Rhodes themselves have finally made a plugin that is just to the point and gets it done. So if you are thinking about checking this out, there's a link in the description for a 15-day trial, and also you can buy it from there. But if you use that link, it helps me out. It's an affiliate link, so it doesn't cost any extra for you. It's just something that helps out the channel. So if you did enjoy the video and you are thinking about purchasing it, check it out there. Big thanks to Rhodes for reaching out to me and sharing this with me. They didn't ask me to, particularly say anything. So this is an unbiased review. I just like the product. But yeah, if you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe, like, leave a comment, whatever. You know how it goes. Thanks for watching and have a good one.